caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he spin up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. We don't mind, we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. We don't mind, we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening, and welcome to the Caltrop. I am your host, Michael Calderese, as you just heard over and over and over again with my entry song. But hey, did you miss me? You only got me one time last week. I didn't have a show Monday because of the complete and total waste of time at that county committee. And we didn't have a show on Friday. Listen, sometimes you have family parties that you have to go to. And this is one of those, graduation parties that I try to go to all of them. You try to when it involves the children, you have to go. But thank you guys very much for coming. Obviously, we are the caltrop. What we do is we're your defense mechanism. I say this all the time. We're a defense mechanism, and we're going to focus on that again, and I try to be your defense mechanism from bullshit. And you guys know this. I do lean. I'm a conservative guy, I guess you could say. I do vote Republican. I'm running Republican. But I loathe the Republican Party, and I'm trying to break everybody from this left-right weirdo dichotomy. And Tucker Carlson kind of hit it off. We're gonna discuss a little bit about Tucker talking about how he can't support them anymore. That's going to be the Mike's right. But we have a packed show tonight. We have a lot going on. We have a nurse or someone in scrubs. We're gonna get to that story in a minute. We have that this video on it where she was calling obviously a Muslim woman, telling her to get out of the country. I want to, the thing that bothers me about it is I want to see how the thing started, because she apparently lost her job. We're going to get to that. We're going to talk a little bit about Iran and Israel. JD Vance, the tone that you're hearing coming out of JD Vance, the tone you're hearing coming out of Trump in regards to Israel, and then the tone that you're hearing coming out of Israel and how defiant they seem to be. As far as Trump's concerned, Ben Gvir, some of the crazy comments that this guy is making, it's absolutely insane how we allow these people to be in power to make some of these decisions that are killing people. I got to be honest with these people are maniacs, and there's maniacs on all sides. And then we have the reflecting pool controversy, and I'm going to dive deep into this one because some of the things on both sides are just hard to believe from a builder's perspective. It's kind of hard to believe, some of the things that the left is saying, and it's very hard to believe what Trump is saying. So we're actually going to go through the product a little bit on what they actually sprayed, who sponsored it, what product was used. From everything I can understand, what product was used on the reflecting pool, and just from my construction background on what it looks like to me with some of these. Some of these swaths of it that look like they're peeling off of the pool. I saw a number of different videos, some in major news networks, that had pieces of it peeling off. So why is that going on? I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. We have a bathroom maniac. We didn't get to that from last week, but we have, an absolute jam-packed show. So let's waste no more time and get to the Mike's right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, everybody, you ever get into the point in life where you're really not angry anymore? You're just disappointed at everything. And that's where I'm at really with the Republican Party. I feel like the dad that showed up to every single Little League game. I bought the best glove, paid for the best lessons, screamed encouragement from the bleachers and from the car ride home. And my kid grew up to be a mime. That's the Republican Party. And apparently I'm not alone. Tucker Carlson said he doesn't know if he could vote Republican anymore. And he's not voting Democrat, but he doesn't know what to do. And honestly, I think that's a lot. I think that's a lot of us that have no idea what to do at this point. Because at some point you have to ask yourself, what exactly have these people done that was worthy of my vote? And I'm asking you that seriously. What if they delivered? Republicans campaign like they're leading the Normandy invasion. This is the most important election of our lives. We're going to cut spending. We're going to secure the border. We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to hold government accountable. And then they get in power and immediately turn into a middle manager at the DMV. Oh, gee, guys, we tried, but we just couldn't get it done. Couldn't get across the finish line. It's like you have the House, you have the Senate, you have governor's mansions, you have the fucking dog catcher, and half of the school boards. What do you mean you tried? There's no try. There's only do. The Republican Senate has passed only a fraction of the legislation previous administrations did at this point, like 37 to over 100. That's a fraction. They move slower than my uncle trying to update his Facebook password. I have seen glaciers move with more urgency than that. Republicans fight harder somehow against other Republicans than they do Democrats. You ever notice that? A Democrat can call them every name in the book, and you have silence. Another Republican disagrees on one issue, like Thomas Massey, and it's DEFCON 1. He's a rhino. He's a traitor. We need a primary. It's like, guys, there is another team on the field, and they stick together. But yet, every election, these people come back and tell us the same thing on repeat. Low taxes, smaller government, fiscal responsibility. And then they get in office, and suddenly it's like, hey, we had no choice. We had to do these things. And it's like you have no choice. The government budget under Republicans, guys, has gotten so big that they should just put it on my 600-pound life. And I'm making jokes out of this because it's hard to stay mad. I'm trying to stay fun. But every administration, the debt gets bigger and bigger. Every administration, spending goes up. Every administration, they blame the other guy. At this point, the national debt has more growth than the stock market. Republicans have given us COVID lockdowns, trillions in debt, forever wars, inflation, massive spending, government bloat. List goes on and on and on. And then they look at us like, but have you considered that the Democrats are worse? They use the old, hey, they suck more than we do slogan. It's like, that is not a campaign slogan. That's honestly an abusive relationship. It's like, you should stay with me. Think about this. You're a boyfriend talking to a girlfriend. You say, you should stay with me because the next guy might hit you harder than I do. It's like, no thanks, Ike. I want someone who doesn't hit me. And don't even get me started on local politics, because I love local politicians. Local Republicans especially are my favorite. They'll tell you that they're fighting for the taxpayers. Then some special interest group walks in and suddenly they become the circus seals. Clap, they approve, they repeat. They control jobs, they control money, control endorsements, control candidates. Every single thing that they do that you are forced to vote for is chosen for you by an inside club. Everything. And they don't pick the best candidate. They pick the next guy in line. It's like a succession in medieval England. Unfortunately, the king died. Bring forth his cousin who can't read. And what you get weak politicians, feckless politicians, politicians that need permission to have fucking opinions. And it's like, to me, these people, they don't have any principles. It's like they have software updates. It's like, what do I think today? I don't know. Hold on. I'll check my phone, check my feed. Oh, well, you know what? My donor hasn't texted me yet. Republicans have become experts, to me, at overpromising and under-delivering. They're Amazon Prime in reverse. 2-day delivery on campaign promises? No. You never get them. It's really an 8-year shipping estimate. Maybe some assembly required if it comes at all. And yet every single election, we all line up. We vote. We donate. Some knock on doors. Many of you argue with your family members. And you do this defending people online like we're shareholders. For what? I don't know. I think a lot of us are waking up to something. The herd mentality is a problem. The team mentality is a problem. Politics has become a team sport. You've heard me say this before. My side, your side, red jerseys, blue jerseys, no matter what our team does, we defend it. If my team wastes money, well, it's really good spending. That was real. We really needed to do those things, even if it was the same things we were just fighting against. If my team grows government, oh, it was necessary growth. If my team lies, no, that's just them being strategic. Oh, you don't know what's in his mind. He's negotiating. If my team breaks promises, well, promises are complicated. At some point, we have to stop voting for logos. We have to stop voting for mascots. We have to stop voting for parties. To me, we have to start voting for people. Judge individuals. Reward courage. And punish the fuck out of failure. Because there are good people in the Republican Party. Absolutely. They really are. There are some honest fighters there. There are people trying to fix things. Sincerely trying to fix things. But as an institution, the Republican Party has become the second testicle on the mule. It exists. We all know it exists. Mules have testicles. It's right there. But nobody can explain what the fuck useful purpose it's serving. It can't reproduce, and it hasn't reproduced anything positive ever. And I don't say this because I hate Republicans. I say this because I expected a lot more from them. A lot more. And I think millions of Americans did too. The answer to me isn't to become Democrats. The answer isn't to become independents. And the answer isn't to join another herd. The answer, guys, is to stop treating politicians like they're sports teams. They're not anything but employees. You hire them, they work for you. And when they repeatedly fail to do the job, you fire them, no matter what letter comes after their name. That's Mike's right. I hope you listen. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something. Trying to read with dirt, like it's been so dry. I'm digging out a job, and sand and dust and bullshit, and even the dust from the concrete, the crushed concrete I was using today, that gets like in my eyes. I feel like I have like glaucoma sometimes. You ever get that little thing where it's like you can't see? I can't see good. I just can't see good. But hey, so there we go. And just to cap this off, I'll play a little Tucker.
Not support the Republican Party. There's no chance I would support the Republican Party. I'm not going to support the Democratic Party. I don't know what I'm going to do. But at this point, how could I or any American voter support a political party that's not loyal to the United States, that puts the interests of a foreign country above those of its own citizens? That's it's not possible to vote for people like that, and I'm not going to. And I think I voted Republican my entire life. I worked at Fox News, CNN, right. MSNBC. I've been a consistent defender for 35 years of the Republican Party. I mean, very consistent defender. But there's no defending this because it's immoral, and it's exactly the opposite of what a political party in a democracy is charged with doing, which is representing its own voters, its own citizens, its own nation, and they're not doing that. So, no, I'm out. And if I'm out, then I think a lot of other people are out.
If he's out, I do think a lot of other people are out. That's for damn sure. Now, here's the part that does bother me about Tucker, because I remember hearing him talk about, he tries to stay. Maybe this is from back in the day, but it always seemed like he tried to play like the whole ignorant role, like, oh, I kind of don't know what party I'm following, blah, blah, blah. And now he gets on his own. I guess maybe he could be more free and he could tell everybody now that he always voted Republican. But I don't remember him making that statement that he has always been a defender of Republicans and he's always been a defender of those type of policies. I don't remember him being that way. But, I do believe what he's saying is accurate, because you do have a situation where, John Thune has passed. Let's see. I have it right here. Check this out, guys. And this is part of what I'm saying. Joe Biden at 122, Barack Obama at 125, George W. Bush at 109, Donald Trump has 38. This is bills that came out of the Senate. Now, if you guys remember when he first took office, I said the biggest problem to Trump is going to be all the Republicans. The Republicans are going to be the problem. And everyone wonders, like Trump is forced into doing things for us overseas that are putting us in a much better situation where he could go around Congress. The only things he could do that are going around Congress really is some of his dealings that he's doing overseas. I've been saying this for a long time. Trump knows he can't get anything done with this feckless bunch of jerk-off Republicans. And when John Thune was picked to lead the Senate, I knew that this was going to happen. I knew that's why Donald Trump went for one big, beautiful bill, because he knew they weren't going to get anything else accomplished. All the Republicans looked at him and said, we got one bill for you, buddy. And that's it. And now what happened? They threw a bunch of shit into a bill. They can't pass basic little things, and I don't want to hear this. Oh, well, Donald Trump closed the border, but Republicans haven't. Donald Trump did. Yes. Republicans haven't. And this is what we have to separate ourselves, because we have to understand, I will criticize Trump at times. This is where I'm criticizing Republicans, because everyone wants border security until the next Democrat fucking president comes in. That everything Donald Trump did is undone because the Democrats didn't do anything to make our border stronger. And there's very, very, very basic things that they could do, like really tighten up U.S. Code 81325. Actually put in the language where they have to wait. Because when you're entitled to a hearing, it's all open to interpretation and what that executive branch is going to carry out. So there's ways to really tighten up U.S. Code 81325 to where it is an actual really good immigration solid law that every president has to enact. And there's no interpretation involved in it. This would actually close the border. Let's get rid of all the loopholes that have been built into the system in regards to being caught at the border versus asylum, what your asylum claims are. There's a way we could streamline every single last bit of this. And that's up to Congress. And they could do it. And they don't want to do it because they want to keep this issue going. So again, Republicans haven't done a fucking thing for any of us. And we continue to vote for them over and over and over and over again. Yo, let's go. It's Johnny. Let's get to some of the comments. 100% fucked up says cease, sue, and desist. Yeah, you're not even kidding. We're gonna get to that in a little bit. I'm wait till I give you the update of my fucking pathetic little bitch ass co-host. I swear to God. Kathy Caldery says, "Hey, Neil." Sollenberger says, look what the Republicans did to Ron Paul in 2012. He won enough delegates to challenge Romney on the floor of the RNC. So they changed the rules retroactively, meaning they moved the goalpost after results were in. It's a club, literally. They could do whatever they want, regardless of voters or what's right or ethical. Abandon their nonsense ASAP. I think we have to abandon I think it's there's something wrong with the party primary nonsense. I think we have to get rid of the primary shit. And I think this is honestly what I think would solve a lot of this. Primaries are done. Clubs, parties, you could be a party and all that shit, but you get to run whoever you want. Whoever wants to run out of that group of people, you could fucking run. Whoever it is going to get the support. But what you have to do is you have to have spend limits per position. So if you're running for mayor, it shouldn't be one person could spend $2 million. The other person could only spend or could only raise $1 million. Everybody should have a spend limit on that. When it comes to Congress, there's a spend limit per position. And it should be that way. So it allows everybody to be able to be in the race to run and not have money influence absolutely by politics. That's part of the problem. If we get that type of shit out, then we're not going to be in a situation where we only have two people from these two fucking parties. We have to be able to open up this field. We have to get money out of politics. Somebody has got to challenge a Supreme Court decision where these corporations can put up unlimited funds as a freedom of speech type deal. I find that to be disgusting because they're taking my freedom of speech when they're allowed to buy these elections. So there's a lot that we have that I think that could actually be done to stop this. Daniel Patrick Leonard says, "Serenity now." Hey, Dan, are you starting your show back up, dude? I've been waiting for you to come on. I really appreciate you being in the comments. So, Jerry Caldas, so tell me, is the border not closed? Okay, Pops. So again, the border is closed for now. So no, the border is not closed. This is the part that bothers me. Trump did that. Again, Republicans did not. I've already been through this. Trump has closed it, not Republicans. That means any Democratic that comes after Trump, they could open it up back again. That's why we saw the yin-yang bullshit. Obama, Trump. Biden, Trump. It's like fully open, fully closed. Fully open, fully fucking closed. This is what we have. And why? Because we have shit laws that no, the Republicans have not put forth. So no, to me, the Republicans cannot take any credit for a closed border. Zero. Try something else. Anthony Nicoletti says, and Republicans suck dick. No, Anthony Nicoletti, if we're going to be honest with you, the majority of the dick suckers, I do believe, is in the Democrat Party. I mean, come on. They're the full LGBT party. So technically speaking, the dick suckers are 100% on the left. But listen, that's just me generalizing, but I think I'm right. Linda says, bye. I'm a Republican, and this president has done every last thing he promised. So bye, Linda. I'll see you later, Linda. No, the president has not done every last thing he promised, and I'm sorry to say this, but he has not. And if you're a Republican, you're probably the problem that I'm talking about. And this is, again, so you can't even listen to somebody that's saying they have voted Republican and they've never voted for a liberal Democrat in their life. And because I'm hating on Republicans. See, I didn't say anything about Trump. I said something about Republicans. And you have these people that do this. I love it. Anthony Nicoletti says, bye. I mean, yeah, seriously, bye. Listen, the bottom line is I'm not going to say, if you're listening to me, it's because you don't want to hear everything that you like. You don't want your ego patted every single day. You want to be out of this confirmation bias. You want to hear somebody that's going to tell you a different side, a different perspective in a very honest way. If you're listening to me, that's what you're going to get. If you want another Republican talking point, seal jerk off going like, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Trump just did everything great for us. He can't do any wrong. He's wonderful. He made every single promise, every single last one of them. Besides that lowering your gas prices shit. Yeah, I guess that promise was left off. I'm sorry, but it's just bullshit. Not Tucker. LOL. Ron Van Schiffer says, not Tucker. Jenny says, I'm with you. Listen, man, I love it. Dave, I love it. Dave. I like this guy's name, Branzema. Did I say it right? Dave Branzema says Cal. I picture you saying it like Calderouche, when you say my name. If you see me in public, give me a yell like that, man. Give me a Calderouche, and I will definitely look around right there. Wearing a Palmetto Armory t-shirt. Yeah, you know what? My mom buys me here. Ready, Ron? My mom buys me all these t-shirts for the show, and it's like now that I say this, she's gonna be like, you know what? I haven't bought him a t-shirt in a really long time, and she just bought me a shitload of work shorts. My mom is great, right? So she bought me all these things, and yeah, that's one. And I wear for comfort, buddy. Pretty soon we're gonna have. By the way, you can get some merch. We have to get all the merch lined out, but if you go to what was the centercutmedia.com. My man Jersey Abe, he put that website together. You can order some merch. I love it. Britt says, chill, Danny boy. Who's Dan? Dan, I don't know. What Dan are we talking about? I don't know. What are you going to be? Not Tucker. And let's see. Alan, who's approving all these flock cameras being installed everywhere? Alan, who's approving the flock cameras? That's going to be, again, your local government. So there's going to be a mix of Republicans and Democrats. You got to love it. Teresa May says, border passage down south, more secure. Northern border, not so much, 250,000 and counting. All right. So, I mean, yeah. So we're talking about one border's closed, one border's not closed. Again, the idea with the border is we have no different law, and the laws are the problem. I've spoken to you guys about this a lot. Like, when the Republicans come in, I expect them to codify what Trump wants to do. Right. So everyone thinks that, like, when I make fun of Trump, says, oh, he didn't live through all his promises. I think he fulfilled almost all of his promises in the 2016 presidency. I think he has not filled them for this presidency. A couple of them he has. But what I expect out of the Republicans was them to codify a lot of what he wanted to do into law. And a lot of that was 100% not codified. I love it. Oh, he's catching on, Mikey. I'm listening. Oh, catching on. Britt, man, I've been here for a really long time. I love it. Welcome to the club here. APAC is responsible Ronnie Roberts said AIPAC is responsible for a lot of fiscal irresponsibility. I think there's a lot of people responsible for that. I don't think it's just AIPAC, but I think they have a lot to do with it. See former Congressman Thomas Massey, fiscal conservative, zero AIPAC money. You know what? I mean, they do AIPAC funds Cory Booker. They fund a lot of people that want to spend, and of course, a lot of people that want to spend on them. Ron says, best place ever. Palmetto State Armory. I love it. Palmetto Shit Stick Armory. I don't know what that means, but hey, man, you can love it or hate it. I don't give a shit. I think I see them in South Carolina. My parents live down there. It says just mess. Oh, she was messing with Dan Patrick Leonard. All right. I love it, guys. So again, I hope you know what I'm doing. And if you listen and not listen just to respond, you're going to understand that what I'm telling you is that we cannot let bad Republicans off the hook. We cannot defend them simply because you say, well, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat or I'm any of that bullshit. We have got to hold every single one of these people responsible. I don't care how much you like him, because I got to be honest with everybody, guys. You know, there's a lot of people that feel very disappointed in what Trump said during the campaign and what he said after. Put it this way. It's not just during the campaign. Trump says a lot of things that he walks back and he turns a total 180 on. This is him, guys, and this is the stuff that I will not give passes on. This is him over the months talking about our gas prices and what's going on with Iran right now. Listen to this.
Because we have so much oil. We have tremendous oil and gas, much more than we need. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have. I'm going to get bad press. I know that. Now, if I did the opposite, if I went out and continued to bomb them for another 4, just bomb the hell out of them, I'd get bad press on that. No, there's nothing I can do. But what this does is it allows the ships to go. If we keep bombing, those ships won't be going. And you're talking about $500, $600, $700 million a day. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. That's why the world is okay. It's liquid. It's fine. Also, we run out of reserves in about 4 weeks. You know, there are reserves all over the world, and we would really run out. And there'll be a time when you wouldn't be able to get it. And you want to see bedlam? So for all those so-called geniuses that want to show me how smart they are.
I mean, so what did you hear in that comment, right? You heard that if we just kept bombing them, we were going to run out of oil. I know our reserves are getting lower. We are using our reserves. A lot of people don't realize that. We are using some oil out of the strategic reserve. There are worldwide reserves, and those worldwide reserves are being depleted as we speak. So what do you hear there when we played the 14 points of the Iran deal last Wednesday? When you look at all of those things, and yeah, I hate to say it, but it almost seems like he's capitulating a little bit and saying, well, you know, their move on closing the Strait of Hormuz was a good move. Because now, you know what, he's using oil as an excuse. Months before, we had enough oil. We don't need their oil. It's not going to affect us. It doesn't affect us at all. Now we're running out of oil in 4 weeks. It's the constant, this is my side, and I could change the narrative on you, and all I have to do is say it. All you have to do is say it. Again, this doesn't mean I don't like Trump still. I mean, I could call out the things he did wrong. I still think he's the best president of my lifetime. I really don't think that was a high bar. But guys, how can we sit here and we accept this shit from him? Oh no, we have plenty. Oh no, we have plenty. Oh, he was just negotiating and it was just his position. Well, no, now you made the deal and you're in full deal defense mode. And you say things that you contradict yourself on just 2 months, 3 months earlier. And I don't understand how we let him get away with this, because it really does. I've been saying that he's been looking very weak on Iran for a very long time, and I stand by that. I think he looks very, very weak on Iran. Keep up the good work, bro. I love it. Ron says keep up the good work. He also said he would lower medical prices. So now, Ron, there are some, again, so this is partially true. There are some medical costs that have been lowered. There's some costs that he lowered that Joe Biden took credit for during the first term, so there are a lot of things that have happened there. But as a whole, no, Trump MD, I think it was called, I don't think has dropped prices that much, but I don't know. To be honest with you, I have not looked totally into that. Donnie says, why isn't anybody speaking about Venezuela? Aren't they oil rich? Didn't we take 500 million barrels? Guess not. Trump might be right. We do need Iranian oil. Maybe China does, Russia. So Donnie, again, so this is what I found out about that. So again, we do need Iranian oil. And Trump was bragging, laughing that we were stealing oil in the middle of the night. Do you remember this shit? He was like, come on, we've been taking millions of barrels of oil out of that place. But from what I'm understanding, Venezuela is oil rich, but they have what they call very heavy crude. And the way to be able to process heavy crude efficiently is they mix it with light crude. Iran has light crude. So when you take Iranian light crude and you mix it with the what do you call it? The the Venezuelan heavy crude, that cuts it enough. It's like cutting it, mixing it, like putting fucking puree in something that's too thick, or water or whatever it is. It loosens up the mix, and they're able to process it. And I think we have one that opened up in Houston that's able to process the heavy crude. But yes, that's what I heard about it. And if that's the case, just tell me that. Hey, listen, guys, we got to control the oil. Fuck off. I want to be told the truth, because what happens is when I feel like you're not telling me the truth, then I feel like I'm being lied to. And when I feel like I'm being lied to, I lose faith in you as the person, because you're just not being upfront with me. And it's kind of like how I feel again with this reflecting pool, right? So tell me what your thoughts on this reflecting pool. But the left is like salivating over this. The left is doing dances. They're fucking cheering. Listen to this.
Let's go, Algie, let's go. Let's go, Algie, let's go. Let's go, Algie, let's go. Woo! Yeah, Algie!
This is the level of people we are dealing with, okay? So here's the controversy with the reflecting pool. Everyone's like, oh my God, it cost $15 million to resurface this pool. First off, the pool is very big. I think $15 million does seem like a lot of money. But when you factor in I'm working on a $50,000 backyard, when you talk about how big that reflecting pool is, the amount of product that's used, and how you have to drain it in the whole 9 yards, fixing it, I can imagine it being $15 million. As a construction guy, I don't find it to be that unreasonable, $15 million. And when you look at the Festivus list by Rand Paul, we waste way more than $15 million trying to improve something. I will take $15 million trying to make an improvement over $15 million in condoms to Nigeria any day of the week, right? I mean, or to try to turn bugs into having lesbian sex with each other through to the NIH $250,000. It's like any of these bullshit things we spend money on, at least is to try to beautify this. But what happened? So this is what's going on. $15 million spent. They drained the pool. They covered it with what everybody was calling a paint. Okay. Now it's interesting because it's kind of a paint. It's kind of not a paint. It's a coating. But everyone knows what rhino lining is, right? But we're going to get to that in a second. So the coating went on, and for like 2 days, it was beautiful and blue, okay? Because the water went back in. And then something happened that's amazing. Algae started forming. And then you had your people cheering on the algae, and like algae does, it just forms. So it was funny watching the left celebrate something that was trying to be improved upon, and they were cheering on the little growth of algae that was slowly trying to hurt the reflecting pool simply to make Donald Trump look bad. And this is where we get to. And I tell you all that to tell you this. When Trump gets asked about it, this is what he says about the reflecting pool.
Are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it
No, we had vandalism. No, vandals. We have I think 290, 300 foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, some of the, It's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the dirty cop, Comey. You know he's a dirty cop, don't you?
So there you go. And that's Trump on it. And, I feel sometimes like as a guy that has put top and bond on, I've applied sealant, I've put tar on foundations. I have definitely worked with rhino lining. I have had trucks rhino lined. I have had friends spray their rhino lining as the paint on the outside of their trucks. I've seen this stuff used everywhere. I've also seen the like plumber friends of mine talking about how there's a type of rhino lining that relines pipes, and it makes these old fucking horrible water lines like that. It coats the inside of these pipes, and it makes these cracked, busted up pipes last for years and years and years longer because it's that strong of a material. We're not talking about a material that is very weak. The stuff that is actually used, guys, is called Rhino Linings Pipe Liner 5000. This is a data sheet on this stuff. Okay, it's rapid curing. It's elastomeric structural lining system. Okay, what elastomeric means, it's going to be able to bond to any single surface, but it's also going to be able to flex. So it's going to be a very, very, very rigid, flexible surface that's able to bind to any surface, wood, concrete, metal, you name it, you spray it on it. It has to obviously be dust free. That's the key. If you have dust or something crumbling behind it and the surface that it's adhering to is crumbling in behind it, it's not going to adhere to it. It's going to flake off. Okay. And this is true for a lot of these things, but this Pipeliner 5000, it's a 2-component, 1 rapid curing. Sorry. I think I've already played that, right? Oh, sorry, right here. It has passed rigorous testing for the requirements for potable water standard, and the hybrid system is sprayed with a high-pressure fluorocomponent spray equipment and can also be sprayed with a cartridge gun. The thickness of the lining varies depending on the application, but it's usually up to 30 mils. The 30 mil is very, very thin, okay? But it's very thin, but very, very strong. This is the components of it. It's excellent lining for potable water and water treatment facilities. Excellent industrial lining for tough application spray conditions. Wall protections in industries such as food processing, food storage, veterinary production. Spray on application and elastomeric properties allow for applications to surfaces to stick to surfaces that have vibration, contraction, movement, flexion, abrasion, and impact. Abrasion and impact, guys. And the final part of this here is its features. It complies with everything. It has high build cross sections, can be sprayed in really large pipelines, robust application window, high physical properties, including tensile, tear, and comprehensive properties. It's the tear strength that's very important on this stuff. Excellent level properties, excellent impact resistance, excellent chemical resistance. Do you hear that? Excellent chemical resistance and corrosion resistance when it's already bonded. And it bonds to virtually all substrates of any dimension, including metals, woods, concrete, and fiberglass, 0% solids, 0 VOCs, and no solvent. Okay? So if you know anything about rhino lining, this to me is like a super version of the rhino lining. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think, if you have rhino lining, can you take a box cutter and easily just cut through it like it was a pool liner? The way it's being described to me is that this is a pool liner. A guy dove in the pool, was swimming, and was just cutting this thing with a fucking knife. So I asked a number of different AI platforms, and to me, it doesn't seem like this type of stuff can be cut easily with a knife. And I asked them if they can. And it says no. Fully cured rhino lining pipe cannot be practically or cleanly cut with a standard knife. It's a heavy-duty, highly cross-linked polyurethane structural lining designed for extreme industrial applications, and that's from U.S. Coating Specialties. It's that was pulled right from there, and here are the reasons why. The lining cures to a sure D hardness of 65 plus 5. This means in the realm of hard, semi-rigid plastic, it's similar to a hard hat or a bowling ball. A knife blade will slip or score the surface rather than slicing through it. I want you to picture that. You think you could take a box cutter and just cut right through 300 feet, cut through 300 feet worth of security. Sorry, if I lost my train of thought. Worth of a hard hat. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could cut through a 1 inch? How long do you think it would take you to put a 1 inch little cut in a hard hat with a box cutter? I bet it's a minimum 5 minutes trying to cut it and then cut it and then cut it and then cut it and then doing one of these type actions, trying to hit it with your hand, trying to push it through. This stuff is not a pool liner, people. This is not something that's going to be easily cut. And then another thing, when something bonds to a surface, okay, let's just say what I do is my specialty. I take concrete overlays and I do board shelf. So I put mortar or stucco and things like that onto it. When you have proper adhering, this stuff is going to have this surface that you're adhering to is going to be prepped properly. It has to be clean. It has to be grinded down. It has to be ready to be adhered to. Okay. Prepped to be adhered to. Then you put your stuff over the top of it. If you get a proper bond, the bond itself is going to be sticking. If I cut through here, it's not going to make everything else pull away from it. Okay. If they put a cut there, it's either going to have a gash in it, or if I put a grinder line through it or whatever the hell it is, the stuff above and beyond the cut line are going to still be attached to each other if there was proper bond. Okay. Are you guys with me? I know I'm getting a little bit crazy. So when you have something like that, where I've seen sheets and entire sections of this coming off, and I saw people in there like this is a news agency going, hey, look at the sheets of stuff that are coming off of this. That to me sounds like it's a contractor issue or a product issue or an installation problem, because I know rhino lining is very good. But let's get to this. Oh, sorry. Next one. Number 7. The material processes an incredibly high tear resistance of 600 to 700 pounds per linear inch. If you manage to force a blade into it, the elastomeric structure actively resists the propagation of a tear or a cut. Do you hear that, guys? This stuff was designed not to tear, not to cut easily. This is the point. And Pipeliner 5000 is typically sprayed at a thickness of 30 to 350 mils in a single pass. Slicing through a rubberized polymer barrier of this thickness with a hand knife is physically impractical and presents a severe slippage and safety hazard. So listen, this is what bothers me. Because I wish we would just say, hey man, you know, maybe they got bad product, and maybe he doesn't want to make these people look bad. But trying to say that we have 5 people arrested, that we could see the video. This is the Capitol. I want to see, why aren't all the videos out on social media of people actually vandalizing this fucking thing? I get it. Maybe we're arresting them, but you're telling me we have no videos of people vandalizing this? How long that would take to put a 350-foot slit in this polyurethane? To me, you're defaming the company by even saying that their product is that easily able to be cut through. So I really don't know what the hell this guy is saying. It seems like, you know, when something goes wrong, it's immediate fucking blind defense mode. But I got to tell you guys, this is, you know, going through this, and I really didn't want to talk about it. Like I was bored. You know, people were bringing it up to me, and I'm like, this is a boring fucking story. And then Trump starts coming across my feed in defending the contractors and defending the pool and defending the reflecting pool and the product and the whole 9 yards. And it clearly has problems. And I wish we would just be honest. And it's the lack of honesty. When you start doing that over and over and over and over again, I can't believe you anymore. I don't care if I voted for you 3 times. I don't care if you've done 97,000 positive things up until this point. If your track record today is I'm lying to your face about everything, I have to have a problem if I'm being an honest objector of all this stuff. I don't know. Quick comments on that. You'll be missed, Linda. I don't know. Okay. Oh, so sorry. I got to go to the new comments. Tremendous oil. She says, tremendous oil, wonderful oil. We have the most beautiful heavy crude in Venezuela. You got to love it. You got to fucking love it. Oh, man. Just had this conversation this morning. You cannot negotiate with Iran, Paula says. You know what? I think you can negotiate with Iran. I just don't know how you negotiate with Iran in the manner in which we are. You know, I really just don't. Ron says cheaper than the Obama library. The Obama library, Ron, is great because you have multiple black contractors that haven't gotten paid. You had the facade of that thing that was falling down. That thing has run so far over budget. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, you have like class action lawsuit that's suing them right now because all of the so-called black construction workers that they hired, they didn't pay a lot of them. And the reality is, though, a lot of the black construction workers weren't doing the jobs properly. So if you don't do the job properly, you don't deserve to get paid. And that's something that the Obama Foundation would never want to say, but that was actually what they were arguing behind closed doors. Donnie says, I voted for Trump 3 times from 2016 and 2020. He played the outsider and blamed the inexperience on surrounding himself with bad people, Pence among them. Now he's not the outsider. He put his own team around himself, and he's busy blaming everyone, including Bush. It's 2026, no SAVE Act yet. Donnie, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. And I agree with you. Like, nothing has gotten done. And what you just said right there is absolutely perfect. Now the SAVE Act, that's not his fault. Again, that's the Republicans. But yes, there's no SAVE Act. There's no nationwide voter ID law. We can't possibly get that. That's something that 99% of Republicans want. And you can't do a 99% Republican issue if you're a Republican Congress or Republican Senate. It's 99% issue. Nationwide voter ID law. Really simple. I don't know why we have to make it these fucking in-depth acts. Here it is. You need a vote. You need an ID to vote in the election. Period. End of story. End of fucking discussion. Every single person on this planet has an ID. Well, every person in America, you have an ID. That's you don't need all this happy horse shit. But did they get any of it done? Absolutely not. Heidi says people were dumping stuff in it. Yeah, they were. Say now that's the truth. Were they dumping chemicals in the water? I bet they were. I bet they were trying to sabotage it. I bet they really were saboteurs that are doing this. So come up with a better reason why this shit was flaking off. No, man, some type of chemical they had dumped in the pool got messed with the bond that this thing had. And then, you know, it started making sections of it peel off where it was highly concentrated. That just, to me, sounds like a much better argument than they were able to cut it through with a box cutter. I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Says there's more arrests over the reflecting pool than the Epstein's list. There's more arrests over the reflecting pool than there is on the Epstein's list. Think about that. Oh my God, I don't know if I want to think about that. I don't know if I want to think about that. Dude, why are you making me think about that? Because that's that's a great fucking point, Donnie. That is a great point. Why are there more arrests over? There's 12 people detained, 10 people detained, 5 arrested already, 5 facing charges. That's 10 people that have faced charges over the reflecting pool. But you're right. I think there's nobody on the Epstein's list. Yeah, nobody. Yep, exactly. Yep. Okay. Yeah, great job. Wow, man, great point. Heidi, it says they were putting fertilizer and cutting through it with sharp objects. So Heidi, the cutting through it with sharp objects isn't happening. I got to tell you, like this is the type of stuff that you need. You need an angle grinder. You need an oscillating saw. You need a sawzall. You need something with a blade. This isn't something where you're cutting through with a knife that's going to be 3. I could see if they had a couple of punctures here and there that makes sense with a knife because it'll take some time to do that. But this isn't something where you're doing something like this and you're able to cut through that with ease. It's just not. Trust me, it's not the product. So the fertilizer I get, the chemicals I get, the fact that they're cutting through it with sharp objects is not happening. You have to have a grinder for this type of stuff. You absolutely have to. And then if you even get the regular rhino lining off of the back, you have to soften it up first before you ever able to cut through it. So you have to soften it up with like a heating gun, and then try to peel it off the back, and then you can start cutting it off. But you really have to heat it up and scrape it off with a putty knife. This stuff does not cut very easy. I got to tell you, it's bullshit. Donnie says it's bullshit. Everything in his hands turn to shit. He's a chronic liar. Now, Donnie, that's where I don't agree with you. Everything is not turned to shit. I mean, there's a lot of golf courses that are really fucking nice. The border wall, I mean, honestly worked very good. When you look at what he has done in 2016, what we were going through with the gas prices, oil leases, honestly, just when it comes to New Jersey, when he really put a hindrance on the offshore wind that they wanted to put in the Jersey Shore that was killing our dolphins and our whales. I mean, you look at it, there's a lot of things. We can't say that one guy is all shit and the other side is all good. It can't work like that. There's a handful of stuff that he's done right, and there's a handful of stuff that he did wrong. Ron says, boom, shakalaka. I love it. Kevin Duffy says, you need to get voter ID to get in the Obama building. Yes, you need an ID to get into the Obama building. Patterson says, more outrage over touching water features than children. Hydrogen peroxide would affect that fresh coat paint. I say, Patterson, that we just what happened to the algae eaters? Throw some of those. They'll be huge, man. You get some of those algae eater fish, throw like fucking 900 of them in there. It'll be really nice. I say, hell, turn it into an aquarium. Make it the reflecting pool and aquarium. Let the fish eat all the algae. You have a very simple solution, and then if any of the liberals put that in the water, the chemicals in the water, they're going to be attacked by PETA. So it kind of works. It works every single way. I got to tell you. But listen, man. As for the reflecting pool, to me, if we beautify something, I don't know why people are acting, and they are, because Trump's behind it. They will destroy something just to try to make him look bad. And I don't know why we can't just all have we're trying to make the place look better. I don't understand why we're celebrating it looking worse. It's almost like we have so low of expectations of ourselves that we tolerate this type of celebrating the bad, celebrating when something goes wrong. It's absolutely insane. I want to get to some. Do I want to do JD Vance, because we are actually kind of running up against it. Maybe we'll do Iran, because we'll see where it goes. We'll do Iran and JD Vance. We'll do that on Wednesday. We'll kick that to Wednesday. Let's see. Anything else? We can get into, I don't know if I want to get into any of this stuff. Let's get into a couple of fun things. Islam is terrorism. Have you seen this chick?
You are wearing scrubs. You work with people.
It doesn't matter. What matters is that you worship a terrorist who is a warlord, a pedophile, and Islam is a terrorist organization.
Yeah,
not a
you're
religion.
Not educated.
Not a religion. I'm very educated on this subject.
No, because you're obviously not.
You need to leave. You're not welcome here.
We are welcome.
This is not a Muslim country. This is a Christian country, and
Stop
you need to
looking
leave.
at her like that, please.
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
You're not welcome here.
We have citizenship
Why do you work
here.
in healthcare if you're like
You need to leave. You need to go back to your Islamic country where you came from. Okay?
No.
Everybody's aware of why you're here.
No.
Okay, so don't think that we don't know, and don't think you're going to get away with it.
I'm pretty sure we're kind people, but you're not.
So her name is Dasha Kilpatrick, I think, and that was filmed in Conroe, Texas, grocery store. And again, this is the problem with it, right? Because you when you Google this or you do any of these, it says she was confronting two Muslim women making Islamophobic remarks. The incident caused significant online backlash and resulted in a job loss. Okay, so she lost her job for that. And the problem I have is that we're not seeing the beginning of that video. We see half of the interaction. What led to that? What happened? Did they bump into her? Were they being disrespectful in any way? I want to know what caused her to say those things. And then, it's interesting how one group's able to goad the other group into saying certain things, and she's able to talk to that person, say you're ignorant and you're this and you're that, but the other person can't say anything back to it. To me, she wasn't wearing the company's the company's logo or any of that stuff for the company to go and fire her. Dude, if I was anybody in that area, I would boycott that company and just put the company out of business, because they are to me everything that's wrong with this country. This woman, I don't care if if she's anti-Islam. She has a right to do that. She's a right to be that way. And we get into a point where we can't say things in the heat of passion to certain people, or all of our life is fucking ruined. This sets the most disgusting precedent, if you ask me, regardless of what you want to say. If you agree with this person or you disagree with this person, it really doesn't matter. David Patterson says, the minor league baseball team that forfeited the game because the players refused to wear pride jerseys. Again, I don't give a shit about that either, but who knows? Maybe they'll all lose their jobs pretty soon. And have you seen this bathroom tirade from this maniac?
In the doorway of the ladies' bathroom. Okay, my wife, there is a man with his 2 little girls using the women's bathroom.
Wash your hands, baby.
He's washing his hands with his daughters right now. He is leaving us.
All right, baby.
She is waiting to use the restroom with her mother, who is very ill
Wash your hands.
and who is on oxygen.
It's okay. Some of them are just immature.
And he's refusing. He's taking his sweet time.
I have 2 girls washing their hands.
You let this lady, this woman is she's a woman. She can bring her daughters in here. She's a manager of the QT.
I'm their
You can
dad.
ask her. I understand. And you don't have any business bringing her in the women's bathroom.
They're girls. They go to the women's bathroom.
As soon as he leaves the men's to the women's bathroom, I will. I'm standing in the doorway. He's taking his own sweet time. Hey, sweetheart. This is ridiculous, man. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
I think that women get it. I think that women got it, right? That woman got it. The irony of this guy saying he's standing in the women's bathroom while he was also standing half in and half out of the women's bathroom was just fucking hysterical. I don't know what's the matter with people. What do you expect 2 little girls to do? What do you expect that father to do? Do you really think the father should be bringing the little girls into the men's bathroom? Do you think that's a place for him? I don't think so. I think women could deal with a man with 2 daughters in a bathroom, and then he could wait patiently till it's empty and then let his daughters go to the bathroom. It's stuff like this that I find when we start playing these teams and we start playing these sides and we start getting so crazy about everything is when things like this starts happening. We start losing perspective on humanity. We stop losing perspective on who people are, what real is. Okay, we can't even define what a woman is, but now we're going to sit there and yell at a man with 2 little girls in a woman's bathroom. If that was a trans guy washing his hands, it'd be outrage all over the fucking place. It'd be everything that guy would be anti-trans, blah, blah, blah. But because it was a white dude with another white dude with daughters, it doesn't go anywhere. It goes on social media as we see it. No media plays it, none of it. But if it was a trans dude in a girl's bathroom, that's cool. But a father with 2 daughters in a woman's bathroom is not. I mean, we've gotten people so crazy that they are reacting to this type of stuff, and that on that type of level, it's absolutely hysterical. Alan says, and they can see a man at the urinal shaking his wong. Yeah, I mean, it's like what that guy was trying to argue is hey, take her into the men's room, or give your 2 daughters to a stranger manager that works at this place, and let a stranger take your daughters to the bathroom. Are they fucking out of their minds? That's where this guy was talking to. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Ron says it's a dad protecting his kids 100%. And I got to tell you something, that dude handled himself so perfectly, as I wouldn't have handled it so good. That guy yelling at me with my daughters, I would have turned around and thrown him out of the fucking bathroom. But that guy handled it. He handled it way better than I would have. Dave Patterson says that's what the Parks Department poured in their horrible idea. Yeah. And it says, y'all talked about bathrooms for years. The angry dude is paranoid, ready for this moment. I get him being mad, but he called the cops and lost his job. Did he lose his job? I hope that fucker did lose his job though. Yeah, man, listen, I again, A guy in a girl's bathroom with 2 little girls, I don't have a problem with. A dude with a mental problem that's calling himself a woman who still has a schlong, I find that to be ridiculous. And finally, I am going to put out there, we had the post of the day by a supporter of Mordecai Bernstein, a Jackson politician. One of his supporters is making anti-Semitic posts about me like this. Check this shit out. Check. I love this. I love this because I'll tell you why. That, what you just saw, ladies and gentlemen, was an AI picture made from an AI picture. Okay, so they took the father of Brick. Do I have that one in here? Let's see. Let's see if I have that one there. Okay, I got to get the father of Brick one in there. So they took the father of Brick, which is my profile picture on Caldery, on my Mike Caldery's page, and they adjusted the father of Brick to be Jewish, but somehow I'm bald with the Jewish little hat. I don't have the long beard, and I don't have the curls. So it's very interesting. I'm kind of like half Jewish. I guess I'm secular Jewish. I'm not ultra Orthodox. I'm kind of like partially Orthodox Jew right there. Oh, man, you got to love these fucking people. You got to love these people. He did. And it don't even look like you. It doesn't, but they've been posting this all over the place. You know, I have my hate pages like this guy that says I make shit up, and I have these fucking jerk offs that do this. Then of course, you know, we of course have my favorites. You know, me as an Iranian, me as another Jew, me as a rabbi. You know, fucking you gotta love the Rabbi Mike was my favorite one. But hey, guys. David Patterson, let's get to his last comment. It says, York Revolution baseball team forfeited the game because they had players that refused to wear rainbow-designed Pride Night jerseys. So listen, man, I'm cool with that, Patterson. I really am, man. I find the fact that you're forcing, again, when you're forcing another person to wear something, I find that to be, you're forcing your ideology on somebody, and that's not cool. Again, I could say I don't want to be a part of that shit. Right? If anybody wants to wear a Pride Night jersey, fine. If the team wants to do Pride Night, cool. But you're going to make me wear a jersey that represents something that I don't, you know, and me, I don't give a shit. Okay. I don't care about any of that stuff. But there's a lot of people that do. And I find that they should not be compelled in any way to do that type of stuff. Whatever happened to the rabbi who sent pics? Oh, that rabbi who sent this pics that he says it's not big, but it's good enough or something like that. That guy, I think it's just a lawsuit right now. I don't think he's been arrested, but I will update you on Wednesday with that. But everybody, listen, I appreciate you being with me. Appreciate all the comments. A lot of comments. Obviously, finger the fuck out of my like button. Finger it good and hard, like you were a tranny in a bathroom. I don't know. And if you love this show, you really want to be a part of the Couch Drop family, go ahead and share this for everybody. Let's get a you know, one of the things that I do know is we have to get away from the bad groups, and we have to form real groups that represent people, that represent us, you know, and we have to get voting blocks, especially locally, that stick together. And that's what I'm trying to work for. That's what a Caltrop is. Be a Caltrop in your own mind. Defend your own mind from what everybody's trying to throw to you, even the guys that you support, guys. You have to be able to defend your mind from the people that you trust the most. That's the most important, because when you trust somebody fully, you expect them to do the right thing. You hope for them to do the right thing, and you don't follow up when they don't do the right thing. So we have to do those things. I got to tell you. But thank you guys very much. I really appreciate all of you. David Patterson says, what if the same thing happens for a camo military appreciation night jersey, slippery slope? Yeah, cool. If somebody doesn't want to wear that either, don't. I'm being serious. And I don't think they should have consequences for it. But again, thank you guys very much. Really appreciate you. I will be back Wednesday. We're not missing a show this week. So we will be back Wednesday. I believe Mr. Fit Nick is going to be here in studio talking about local Jersey elections, what he's going to be doing, some of the politicians he's going to be calling out, because a lot of them deserve it, and some of the things he's doing. He's doing big things on his show, the Nick and Colton Show. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I hear the baby screaming in the background, so that's my cue to get going. This Couch Drop is out. See you Wednesday. Later.